Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how to double thread a sewing needle and also double knot it. So for some of you who are new to hand sewing, you may get confused as to what that looks like and even the length of the thread that you should have. So this is your hand sewing needle and you have the point of the needle there, and the hole at the top of the needle is called the eye of the needle. And when you look at a double threaded needle, it actually is one thread on the needle. It's just folded at the center point of the thread and knotted at the end. So if you cut off the knot and stretch it out, it's one thread. It's not two. So some of us may get confused when you hear double thread. But then when you look at it, it's doubled here, meaning you're sewing with two threads, but it still is one thread. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to get my sewing needle here. Let me just get one with a large enough eye so I can see it on camera. Here we go. And then your spool of thread right here. And what you want to do before you always begin is trim the thread so you have a nice clean ending of your thread. And you don't want to ever hold your thread with a long tail. You want to make a super short tail so it's kind of stiff and sticking out that way, so that when you guide your eye of the needle right over, here we go. I like to squeeze it together there with my fingers. It goes right through. Okay, so now from this point, I'm going to show you how to measure it. Because my young students who learn how to hand sew always have sort of a difficult time with this, with the hand measuring. So I wanted to show you both my hands and how I measure it. So you have two hands, and in one hand you hold the needle, and the other hand you hold the end of the thread. So my spool of thread is sitting on my table. Okay, so one hand I hold the end of the thread, and the other hand, if I could grab it, and the other hand I have the needle. And what I do is I measure my arm. Okay, so as I'm measuring, in this hand I have the end of the thread, and the other one I measure all the way up to almost my shoulder. Okay, you don't want to have more of or a longer thread than your arm's length. So when you're sewing and you're pulling the thread through, you don't want to have it too long because it does not, right? So once you have it like this, as you can see, it's double knotted. See, well, not double knotted, it's double threaded. Okay, you're going to bring it up, and wherever the end of the thread right here is, see how the end stops right there? Can you guys see that? You trim it. Okay, so I'm going to do that for you again on camera. So to do it again, I have one. Now I switched hands, but it doesn't really matter which hand you have what. I have the end of the thread in this hand, and then in this hand, I have the end of the needle, and see right there, the end of the needle, and now I'm measuring my arm. Then I hold the needle up, and as I'm holding also the eye of the needle so the thread doesn't move, and I'm bringing it all the way up. So this is what's in my hand, right? And now the thread is doubled, and now I'm bringing it up, 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 and this is where I cut, wherever the end of the thread is. Now let me show you how to double knot. Now here's how you double knot the ends. Okay, so you have your needle here, which I'm gonna push aside, and now the two ends of the threads come together, and I see a lot of young students trying to tie this like a shoelace, but that's not how it works. What you're going to do is you're going to keep the threads together, and I'm going to show you the magic knot, which you make an X, you roll, and then you pull that mess under and it makes a knot. Or you can do it the opposite way as well. You can make your loop, you put your tail under the loop and pull it right through the loop. That's one knot. And then another one, you're going to make it land right on top, which I always use my nail to guide it on, because if I don't, I miss. And that is now double knotted, and now you have your double threaded needle. So when you're sewing, two threads are going through your fabrics. So I really hope you found this video really helpful, especially if you are a new hand sewer. And if you like videos like this, go ahead and check them out right up here on the screen. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.